Hey guys, it's Scott with scottieb Cards, and in this video I want to talk about the baseball card bubble that we're currently in. Are we in a bubble? We see this all the time. Is it a bull market? Where are we at with sports cards? I think the definitive answer is we are in a bull market. Is it a bubble? Will it pop? That's something we can discuss in this video and kind of get an idea of best practices to be the least hurt if something like that were to happen. The very first thing I want to talk about is we just had the highest month ever for baseball cards, sports cards, I should say. If I say baseball cards in this video, just know I mean sports cards in general. But we had the highest month for sports cards ever for transacted dollars, right? So we have $416 million spent in August of 2025, according to Card Ladder. That's crazy. If we go back to like 2020, the COVID boom, right? Here was kind of that COVID boom, got big in 2021. We topped out at 200 million. We actually got even higher. The highest point was about 250 million in early 2022 before it got high in 2025. And now we're way above that. If we look at early 2020, we were having, $30 to $50 million transacted. We're at 416 on public transactions that Card Ladder can track. This is not actually including all of the card shows. This is not including all of the local card shops. All these different places. Instagram, that's where I do most of my selling personally, right? I try to avoid eBay if I can. Go to Facebook groups. And so we're seeing insane amounts of money being spent on sports cards more now than ever. And that could be two reasons. The first reason is cards are overpriced. So the cards are more expensive, they've gone up, and so now the transaction volume's higher. The other reason is just that there's more people interested in sports cards who have a higher transaction volume. And so it could be both of those things combined, where higher transaction volume plus cards are more expensive. If you look at like some of these cards, even back here, I have an Essentials Credentials of Larry Walker as an example. I think I paid $750 for that card. Before, like in 2020, that was probably like a $100 to $200 card. Maybe that's a little low, but you get the idea I'm saying. They're more expensive, plus they're selling more. They're more liquid than they ever have been. And that's the first sign we are in a bull market. Is this a bubble and it's going to pop? And if it does pop, to what extent? Who knows? That's always hard to predict and actually impossible to predict. If anyone can tell you or think they can tell you, they're probably wrong. So with that being said, the other thing that's kind of, I wouldn't say concerning, but just eye-opening, something to watch, celebrities and investors are entering the baseball card and the sports card market. Here we see Kevin O'Leary. He partnered with Shine, a couple other guys on this card. This is the Kobe LeBron dual logo man autograph from Exquisite. Sold for $13 million, the most expensive sale ever. And on top of that, it was purchased with the intent of a pure investment. So we've seen art, when we've seen other, alternative asset classes that were established, and it feels like that is happening to some of these high-end cards. The dangerous thing here is sports cards are a little bit different than art in some ways, because the players, especially the modern players that are actually actively playing, can do dumb stuff. Look at Wander Franco, look at other players similar to him. Look at players who just don't do good, right? If we look at someone like Andrew Jones, and Andrew Jones is retired, but through his age 30 season, he looked amazing. And then after 30, he kind of fell off. Same with Mike Trout recently. And so it's more dangerous now to do this. And that's one aspect of cards versus other alternative assets. It's not quite the same, but the pure established high-end grails like this card, they are transcending sports cards. And that's why they're going for so much. We're going to continue to see this separation, I believe, of the ultra high end that's going to keep going up compared to the mid to low end. I don't think that's a bold take on my part, but this is an example because that's what celebrities and investment funds are actually going to be targeting for whatever reason. So this was eye-opening for me, and I don't love it. I don't feel like this $13 million card sale is like a real card sale because it wasn't purchased with the intent of being, I don't know. It's tough. Once you go over a certain dollar amount, it's probably not all for pure fun. It's probably for an investment in some ways, even my cards. So it's always a challenge to try to quantify that. But either way, it does seem every significant card at auction is an all-time high. And this is for cards that are unique and one-of-ones like this one, but also iconic cards. Iconic cards are going up again. This is the last 365 days. This is market movers, by the way, but we're going to see it up 83% on Ken Griffey Jr.'s Upper Deck Rookie PSA 10. This card was around $2,000 and now it's over $4,000, so almost up 100% year over year. Next, we have Messi. So soccer is getting in on the action, started at $9,000 and now they're selling for $33,000. Huge jumps in a year. That's 234% up. I know a good friend of mine owns one of these and he had no idea they popped off because they did just pop off. And honestly, it makes sense for Messi. I have no issue with this card going for a bunch. I don't know if it's too high, but Messi, I mean, he's more world famous than really any other athlete in baseball and basketball, right? We have Jordan, right, and LeBron, but Messi's bigger everywhere. So it's not too surprising his iconic rookie is starting to go crazy. But at the same time, once we enter, do you guys remember back when COVID was happening, we saw the base card boom that went crazy. That could be happening now with the iconic stuff. That's a little bit more low pop, and that's what we saw with both this Griffey and this Messi, but it's not held there. We are seeing Pokemon cards do things sports cards can't even imagine right now. Every single restock of Pokemon, gone. Every single sealed product of Pokemon worth 5, 10, 20 times more than it was a few years ago. My mom, I talk about my mom's Pokemon collection. She's been buying just like a couple boxes of every set and then buying a couple Costco bundles and never opening them. And they have gone up like crazy. She has a lot of like 151 ETBs and Evolving Skies ETBs and all these things. And they are just way up. She's going to sell them probably soon because I think you have to take advantage because you never can time the top of the market, never try to time the top of the market. And she can pay off the rest of her house, right? It's one of those things where it's just crazy where the speculation is really paying off and is really starting to go nuts. And she's not buying anything now because she was never like buying stuff out. So don't attack my mother in the comments. My mother's a saint. But she was just buying a few boxes here and there that I said was a good set. So it's just interesting to see Pokemon, and that is translating as well to singles. And I did not show this. I wanted to show the Charizard because it's an iconic card and it's well known. We can see the PSA 9 is up 64%, the PSA 7 is up 54%, the PSA 4 is up 26%, and so forth. But the rare stuff from like 2005 to 2015, that stuff in high grade is going nuclear right now. And so Pokemon's up and sports cards are up as well, not quite as much, but they're going to continue to follow that trend. I think it's just here a little bit earlier than sports cards. And we are in a bull market. Timing a bubble, trying to sell at the top is impossible. And I do want to talk about that a little bit. So don't try to time the market both ways on buying and selling. So don't feel like you have to wait till the tip top, because what happens is sometimes it can be a good time to sell and lock in that profit, and that's okay. If you wait too long, it might drop down. If you're looking to buy a card, it could be a similar situation. If you keep waiting, I remember I have some Bitcoin. I don't have a ton of Bitcoin, but I'm always like, I'll wait till the next drop. And now it's like at $115,000. And if I'd have just bought when it was at a good price, I'd have been better off. So it's always hard to time things. And so if you believe in something either direction, like, oh yeah, I just made 500% on this card, it's okay to sell. That's my first piece of advice. And I don't want this to be like, oh, Scott is only in it for the money and stuff, but that's not it. It's just these moments don't happen very often. So these big moments when things like this happen, where it's a good time to move some of these cards, or when a player pops off. Remember Yerman Mercedes? Do you remember him? When Yerman Mercedes back, I think in 2022, I think is when that was. But Yerman Mercedes just popped off. And for 3 months, his cards were very hot, and then he's never been heard of again. It's one of those things where with modern active players, sometimes you got to just take advantage of those moments, because then you can reinvest in something you like more, or something that's a little bit more rare. Don't be afraid to consolidate. That's what I like to do, and I've been doing, and I'm going to continue doing it. Actually, eventually I'm probably going to have a few different cards that I really, really, really love of a few players I really, really like. But that's okay to do as well, and that's one good thing about taking your profits right now. Don't get FOMO. This is a big one. As the market rises, as things get more expensive, don't go buy that messy card right now. I mean, I just talked about not timing, so there goes that advice. But it's one of those things where don't buy because you're scared that you missed out. I mean, if you did, you did. But at the same time, sometimes when you FOMO buy, it can be a really bad time to buy. So just be careful with FOMO. It's a powerful, powerful thing. Missing out is a powerful thing. Don't spend more than your means. This is one that I think a lot of us struggle with, including myself. It's easy to throw a card on a credit card and be like, oh, I'll just sell cards to pay that off, which I do, and I've always done that. I've never gone into debt over baseball cards, luckily, but I know some people have. It's a very easy thing to do, so don't spend more than you have, and that's in like baseball card equity or expendable income. You're okay losing, if you want to consider this a true hobby and the money's just a lost cause. Just be careful, because it's an addiction. It can be an addiction, I should say, and it's very fun. It's a fun thing to do, is buying that rare card you found. But at the end of the day, you got to pay for it, and at the end of the day, baseball cards, you can't eat those. You can't feed your family with baseball cards. You can sell them and then feed your family, but having all of your money, every single dollar in one asset like that is not a great strategy, especially something as volatile as sports cards. I have a reason why you are buying a specific card, right? So I bought this Mookie Betts card, and I like this Mookie Betts card because it's a 2015 Logo Man. It's Mookie's only Logo Man from 2015. He did not have a Logo Man in 2014 when he was a rookie, so it's his first Logo Man. And on top of that, Mookie did not sign any cards from 2015 aside from sticker autographs in 2015 that were left over from 2014. And I think he even had one set in like 2016, an early low end set. But either way, he didn't sign with Topps from 2015 all the way until 2025, maybe late 2024. I'm not sure exactly when that switch happened. But either way, like, this card has a lot of things going for it. First Logo Man, he has no Logo Man autograph, so this is like his best Logo Man from this era, in my opinion. So I was able to buy it. I paid a little bit more than I wanted to for it, but I think in the long run, that story can sell itself if I ever wanted to sell it, because it's one of those things like, this is his best Logo Man in some ways. So a Mookie collector might be like, okay, that's justifiable. You paid $2,000, I could pay $3,000 or $4,000. You never know. So just make sure you have a reason why you're buying buying. If you're buying for that intention, if you're just buying because you like the player like me with Billy Butler, then buy it. All those cards are a sunk cost to me, and I just like having them, but that's not always the case. And rare is a double-edged sword. Back to this Mookie Betts example, if it's too niche of an item, right? Let's say you have a off-brand 1-of-1 from Topps. Let's say it's not like the best set. Topps Fire. I always pick on Topps Fire, but I actually think Topps Fire is pretty cool. But let's just say Topps Fire. If you do that, it's cool because it's a 1-of-1, but there's a lot of rare stuff right now that's not particularly sought after, right? So you kind of have to be careful with rare. Rare can really work to your advantage, especially if you want to sell, like we saw with that 1-of-1 to Kevin O'Leary, but it also could just have no demand behind it, and you'll just have to hold it for a long time, and it's very illiquid. So be careful with that too. And I do want to note, even though like things are a little bit hotter, I think this more so pertains to like the higher end of the mid-end section and then all of the high end. And I don't know if that's quite the case for the mid to low end, which is more of the space that, I think a lot of us play in. And so don't like panic. I just wanted to kind of release this video to show like, yeah, I think we are in a pretty crazy bull market right now with sports cards, and just be careful because sports cards are fun, but at the end of the day, they're not the most important thing in any of our lives. So just be careful with buying and selling and enjoy cards. And let me know in the comments down below if you like these types of markets or if you prefer to buy and sell more in a bearish market. But other than that, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.